But our big story here today, unemployment claims in Ohio skyrocketing, more than 180,000 people filing for unemployment claims. And those are just the people, Damon, who have filed those claims, but many more just aren't able to get through on the phones or on the unemployment website.
And joining us live right now via the phone is Lieutenant Governor John Husted. We thank you for joining us this morning, Lieutenant Governor. A lot of our viewers are trying to file those claims and are running into issues. What is the update on the infrastructure of the website, also the phone bank?
Well, the infrastructure is capacity is being increased. We're adding servers. It has been operating for the most part without any glitches for the last 48 hours. Does not mean that it won't be slow. It's not everything from the tech point of view can't be solved on our side. Sometimes the flow from somebody's household or neighborhood or things like that, the capacity is not there, which also adds to the complexity of it. But it is being built out as fast as it can. People are being trained and added to the phone lines for the last 48 hours. I think we've solved most of the issues, but we're still working to make sure that we don't have any glitches going forward. In the last week, we had as many unemployment claims last week, 50% of the total we had for the entire year in 2019. So you can see the volume is incredible. Nationwide, it was the biggest week of unemployment claims in the history of the country, and there's not even a close second. And so the volume is tremendous. The people are working to get this done. We just ask folks to remember two things. Please exercise patience. You will get through. Your benefits will be granted. And most importantly, even if you don't get through as quickly as you desire, understand that your benefits will be backdated to the time that you were eligible, and you will not lose any of your benefits that you're entitled to under the program. So we want to provide that reassurance.
Lieutenant Governor, there are questions from our viewers who are part-time workers and are concerned that they don't qualify to get assistance right now, and they may not be able to put food on their table. They don't have an income, and even some of the people who are doing gig jobs, part-time jobs, things that are self-employment positions. What are we doing for them? Are there any measures that are going to be in place for those people?
Well, the Congress is currently working through finalizing the bill that will help us do that. For people who are independent contractors or 1099, part of the 1099 workforce, they don't pay into the unemployment compensation system, so they wouldn't be eligible under the traditional rules. But the emergency legislation, the CARE Act that's going through Congress, would enable us to provide benefits to that workforce, including some of the part-time folks who you're speaking to. So that part of the economy, those people who've been affected, there is a system that's being put in place, a program that's being put in place to help them. We will act on it as soon as the Congress passes it, the president signs it into law, and we get guidance on how to do it. That's just an entire new system that we're going to have to stand up from the beginning. So we will work to do that as quickly as we can.
We know Ohio has been aggressive as far as taking action, the stay-at-home order, the business closures and such. And most Ohioans are thankful for the action that is being taken. But we're seeing some other states not being as proactive. And some people are saying that really defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do here. Are you concerned that we may be coming back online too soon on a federal level? Because we're hearing from the White House that they would like to see things come back online potentially as early as Easter.
Well, Governor was on the phone with governors from across the country. I was as well last night with lieutenant governors. You can clearly see the states that took the early precautions, like Ohio, seem to be benefiting from those actions. Other states did not take them, particularly states that welcome spring breakers and Mardi Gras participants and things like that, and they are paying the consequence for it. And so we don't want people to travel from those states to Ohio. If you are traveling back, we're asking you to voluntarily quarantine for 14 days until you're sure that you're not carrying the virus. the point that we're all in this together is literally true. The only way the virus spreads is when we give it to somebody else through our somewhat irresponsible social interactions with them. And so that's what we're trying to slow down. Ohio got on this early. We hope that we will have the benefits from that, but we don't want an influx of people coming back to our state and spreading it, or coming into our state and spreading it. And so we ask people to take those responsibilities. But we're going to be in this for a while. We hope to transition out of it as soon as we can, but we don't want to do it before the data, the science, tells us that it's safe to do so.
Lieutenant Governor, let me jump in real quick. So we're hearing that the cases could peak to up to 8,000 a day toward the end of April, early May. I mean, are we talking about a lockdown situation well into the May?
No, look, I don't want to make any promises on timeframes, because when you're going to be honest with folks and you're going to use the science to make these decisions, which is what we will do in Ohio, we'll wait until the data comes in. We're looking at this in 2-week timeframes. We're looking at April 6th right now as a time when we're going to reassess these things. But we get data daily. We make decisions based on that data, and every day at 2 o'clock, the governor and Dr. Acton and I get together and we tell you what we know, and that's exactly what we will continue to do. I don't want to project where we'll be. I know people are looking for some certainty and reassurance. The certainty and reassurance that we will give you is that we will use the facts, we will present those facts to you, and we will tell you as soon as decisions are made.
Let's talk about personal protective equipment. We are watching the epicenter of this crisis in New York City. They are not able to handle this. And we are trying to get prepared, but the numbers aren't there when it comes to how much equipment that our frontline workers are getting. Our healthcare workers who are going to be in the hospitals, our first responders. And I wanted to ask you this. Do we have the critical resources to say that we are going to be prepared? Dr. Amy Atkin even said that we had a limited supply, that we are getting boxes, not truckloads. And Republican Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker, he pointed out that the states are competing with not just each other, but with the federal government to get supplies. Are we getting enough supplies? Are we going to have enough supplies? And are you on board with the other governors across the country saying that they want a national response to this?
Well, look, we try to do what we can to solve our problems in Ohio, and if the federal government can assist in that, then we're grateful. But we are working with manufacturers and our acquisition team here in Ohio with the hospitals to provide the supplies that we can.
Do we not need help at this moment? Are we okay? Just the state?
No. Don't get me wrong. We could use as many of these ventilators, PPEs, as we can get. But I can only tell you what Ohio is doing. We can't stand here and say that the federal government should solve our problem. Under Governor DeWine's leadership, we want the federal government's help, but we are working on our own innovations. For example, the Battelle Institute in Columbus has a way that they can sterilize up to 80,000 masks a day so that they can be reused. And so we're on the phone every day trying to get FDA approval for that. Those are some of the innovations that are coming right out of Ohio that can help us solve these problems. We're talking with manufacturers on manufacturing the components to build ventilators. We're working with our own Ohio supply chain to solve Ohio's problem, and to the extent that the federal government can help us add to that solution, then we welcome it. But I don't want anyone to think that we're just sitting around waiting for the federal government to act. We are putting Ohio talent and innovators to work at solving our own problem.
All right, Lieutenant Governor John Husted, thank you so much for spending your time talking with us this morning and our viewers. We hope that you and your family and everyone that is working so hard to keep us informed stay safe.
We'll be right back.
Yep. Please stay home and be safe.